I'm Ashton Addison from Blockwest Capital for InvestmentPitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Sean Ryan, the CEO of Glitch Finance. Sean, welcome to the show, and thanks for taking the time to be here today.
Yeah, g'day, Ashton. Thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. I'd love to kick off our time together by first just hearing a little bit about your background, how you got into the blockchain space and started Glitch Finance.
Yeah, great. Well, funnily enough, in 2013, I sold a business and we were a premium SMS service. And I invested a small amount into a thing called Bitcoin, which I had no idea about. And in 2015, I started to obviously see my investment grow and start to get very interested in the space. And from there, I haven't looked back. Big believer in DeFi as a whole and, democratization of finance. And I feel like everything I've done in my career has led me to where I'm at today as a CEO of Glitch Finance.
Definitely. Quick and easy. And now I'd love to just hear a little bit more about Glitch Finance before we dive into the details of the DeFi solutions that your team's providing.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, basically, we're a layer one blockchain focusing on trustless money markets. So the project was founded out of the belief that DeFi needs better infrastructure, so more people can opt in and out of centralized finance. Basically, we're working towards building that scalable blockchain that can really have that real world adoption, focusing on trustless money markets, which you'll probably hear a lot within this conversation, and focusing on a bit of a world first revenue sharing model, which I'm sure we'll touch on at some point as well. That's very much our focus. Really working towards that real world adoption and really focus on that that trustless money market space.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And DeFi has really exploded in the last year to 2 years. And now you've created Glitch Finance as a layer one protocol specifically focused on DeFi. Can you talk about some of the problems that you saw within the DeFi space that led you to saying, hey, we should really create a layer one protocol focused on these problems?
Yeah, definitely. So I think a lot of projects with these sort of ideas, obviously we're looking at the likes of Ethereum at 15 odd transactions per second. And to really move towards that real world adoption, it's just not going to cut it. So then we started looking at, we had an understanding that Ethereum would launch 2.0 at some point. So we did first look at a potential layer two solution. Reason we really shied away from that is we felt that there was a potential for layer twos to become obsolete once Ethereum does release that 2.0. And then we saw other projects, around that, say, there started to be a few coming out, 400 or 500, and really working to that couple of thousand transactions per second, which I still don't feel like, the retail investor really understands what that means yet. And they're looking at projects that are claiming to have, tens of thousands of transactions and whatnot. But the finality is just as important as the transactions per second, and the adoption and use. Now, the layer one for us, as layer two, wasn't going to cut it, and then we started to investigate, certain infrastructures and ecosystems that we could look at what they were doing and find a way to do it better. And then we just plan to put a glitch in the market. So.
Very cool. And yeah, that's a great point, Sean, about what's going to happen with layer two solutions when Ethereum 2.0 does come out. Are they still going to be needed? Will they adapt somehow? Will they just become obsolete? So to future-proof and create an entire layer one solution, which I don't know if you would agree with this or not, but is like sort of competing or has similar technology to Ethereum, where the bulk of DeFi is right now, is ambitious, but it sounds like a more foundational approach to
definitely.
Yeah,
and it's we were definitely really interested in competing, and hence why our unique selling point of that revenue sharing model and focusing on the trustless money market space. There's so much that comes out nowadays, and they're just doing absolutely everything. But I'm kind of starting to feel that if you don't truly stand for something, you risk standing for nothing. So,
yeah, I love that quote. And you mentioned the scalability of Ethereum with DeFi and how it's not really going to cut it as it gets to the mainstream. Do you think that's one of the key advantages or unique selling propositions of Glitch's protocol and the DeFi solutions within it? Is the scalability, or are there other things as well?
To be honest, I think that we've really thought through this well. The scalability, yes. Transaction speed, fees, we're keeping extremely low. But whilst doing all of that, we've had a huge focus. We looked at Ethereum and said, okay, why did they get so big and ultimately be so poor? And it came down to the UI UX, the ease of use for a developer to come across and build and deploy on Ethereum. So we've got a huge focus. It's not something we talk about all that much, but we believe once we release our mainnet in the coming months, it's really going to really resonate with a lot of developers, and that transition across to us is going to be seamless.
That's great to hear. I'm looking forward to that mainnet launch. And maybe you can touch on the technology itself. Is there anything unique about it? What can you release in terms of information about it right now, and how it's so scalable, how it's going to be the next DeFi solution and hub?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those weird things for us. We don't want to say too much because what we are doing is quite unique and it's quite straightforward. Apologies, guys. It's quite late for me here, and so if I trip up, I do apologise. But we don't want to divulge too much because it will just give an option for certain blockchains to make certain tweaks. And then, we're just going to create competition. Happy for them to copy us once we're up and going, and I'm sure they will. But yeah, at this point, we keep a lot close to our chest. But yeah, we're full steam ahead, and we're very happy with where we're at.
Definitely. And I was researching into the solutions, and I saw that the Glitch Decentralized Exchange, or the GEX, seems like it's the flagship solution that you're going to be releasing. Can you talk about the GEX, what makes it so special, and why it's going to be revolutionary?
Yes, I wish we had a couple of hours for this. Absolutely love our GEX. If you compare us to, say, our GEX to like a Uniswap or a PancakeSwap, for argument's sakes, we are super focused on very much limited to no slippage. And that's been a huge focus for us. And second to that, most of these DEXs release their own native token. We've actually decided against that. It was a discussion we did have, but we decided against it because we wanted it to be the flagship product of Glitch and be a big contributor to the revenue sharing model. So all fees accumulated, then in turn reward the GEX, the Glitch holder, token holder. So that's the high level on the GEX. Super excited for it. Looking forward. We're actually going to release it on testnet quite shortly, just for testing and just as a bit of an MVP demonstration for the investors. But yeah, really looking forward to the GEX.
Definitely. You mentioned the revenue sharing model a few times. Is it that the transaction fees primarily from the GEX are going to the token holders, or is there something else that makes it super unique?
Yeah, so it's very much modeled off and very similar to dividends on a traditional stock. So basically, the way the revenue share model works is it's rewarding the stakers and holders. So having the GEX as part of the revenue sharing model and the adoption that we feel we're going to get with the limited fees that we're going to have. I mean, in testing, I can tell you that the fees, I think the biggest, the highest amount was 31 cents for a transaction, and that was for a $10,000 trade. So once people get wind of this, of how cheap they can trade, we're going to have mass adoption, and in turn, mass adoption means it's a little fee, but it's going to end up a lot of fees cumulatively to the revenue sharing model and back to the glitch holder.
Very cool. That's impressive. 31 cents is a lot less than I've paid in some Ethereum transactions. I'm not sure if I've ever paid 31 cents for an Ethereum transaction.
I don't even want to talk. I mean, a couple of months ago, I think I paid up to $100 for a transaction. So
for sure.
I mean, how many is that? It's 300 transactions on the GEX.
Definitely. And I also saw that there is a staking model involved. Is that right? And can you talk about that a little bit more?
We are still finalizing a few things around our staking. But yeah, it'll be something that we'll release out via a Medium article in the coming weeks. So yeah, if everyone's following us, stay tuned for that. Quite exciting news.
Sounds great, Sean. And is there anything else to talk about the Glitch Finance token? You mentioned that they're getting the revenue share, that there will be more on the staking when that comes out. Is there anything else to talk about regarding the Glitch Finance token, how it works within the ecosystem and provides value to the users?
Sorry, I just missed that last bit. You were cutting in and out.
No worries. I was just asking how it provides value to the users and throughout the ecosystem for the token.
Yeah, are you in reference to the GEX or the revenue sharing model as a whole?
Well, the whole platform really, in all of the ways that the Glitch Finance token works. Yeah,
sure. So I will reference that revenue sharing model again. So stakers are able to obviously stake their tokens, which the revenue sharing model rewards for staking. So with our extremely low fees, high scalability and speed, which is I won't say second to none, but pretty good and pretty reasonable and super competitive. The UI UX of the platform, the adoption that we're going to have from developers, more dApps means more transactions, means more fees through the revenue sharing model. I mean that's it in a nutshell on a high level.
Definitely. Great. Thank you, Sean. And you mentioned leading up towards Mainnet and coming out with, on your Medium blog, some more information soon. Can you give any snapshot or timeline of when approximately the Mainnet's going to be coming out? I know, times always change, but maybe you can give a glimpse into what the timeline is supposed to look like.
Yeah, look, it's something that we were really pushing for, within this month to next. But it's with the current market conditions and my need to perfect this and just get it right. It has been a decision that has come from myself to push back. I know a lot of holders didn't really accept it, and I appreciate where they're coming from and whatnot. They're all there to make money, but I'm very sure that we'll see them back at some point because of the growth that we do have in front of us. But we are looking at Q4, and yeah, it's just Q4. No potential hiccups. I could have done it Q3 with potential hiccups, but I just thought with current market conditions and where we're at and what we're actually doing, we're not one of these pump and dump. Like we get asked all the time, you're pump and dump. We're a layer one blockchain. We're building financial infrastructures to enter the real world, and that question just astounds me at times. But yeah, Mainnet Q4. Really looking forward to it. I can't wait. We're battle testing internally. Super happy with the results. And yeah, moving forward, cannot wait to get it out to everyone.
Definitely great to know. And looking down the road, past the Mainnet launch, years down the road when DeFi has really matured as well, what do you think will be one of the key factors to success for Glitch Finance to be one of those go-to solutions that DeFi is really sitting on top of?
Yeah, okay. I think one thing that is unique about how we have developed this system, we have planned for the future. I made some notes for this, and a question that I believe was going to come up is, how do you achieve your 3,000 TPS? And It's actually a lot higher, but there's dependencies around it. So we don't want to be one of these blockchains that says we can do 50,000 transactions but can only prove 1,000. So we're building for the future, but we're releasing in stages to create efficiencies around the platform. So the day we release Mainnet, which I see as V1, we start building V2 and start working towards continually improving, continually growing, continually scaling. So people are going to be super impressed, and I know they will with what we release. But then, yeah, it's on to stage 2, stage 3. So always being competitive, always looking forward. There's always new infrastructure, new ideas that are coming out. Analyze them, take the best. We've got a great team of guys behind us that are super forward thinking. So yeah, it's V1. Everyone's going to be very happy, and then V2 moving forward.
It never really ends, but it's a very fun journey. So I'm sure you're looking forward to the Mainnet launch.
Definitely is. Cannot wait.
So for the viewers that are looking to follow along, learn more about the GEX, see the Medium blogs when they come out, and follow along for the Mainnet launch, what's the best way for them to get involved in the community and to learn more?
Guys, just jump onto the website, glitch.finance. It's just below my title there. Everything you need is there. You can follow us on Twitter, follow us on Telegram. We pride ourselves in being as involved in the community as possible. I try to jump in as much as possible to answer any questions. Please come in and ask questions. If you don't understand something, it doesn't matter if you're new to the game. It doesn't matter if you've been around for 5 years. Come in, ask the questions. You'll get the answers, and yeah, we look forward to having you a part of the community.
Sounds great, Sean. I will leave those links in the description box below as well. All the best with Glitch Finance moving forward, and let's follow up in the near future.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Ashton, and yeah, really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks everyone, and we'll see you around.